Gentlemen, welcome. We'll let you get settled, and then we'll go coach on the far side, Rodney on the near side. We'll start with a quick opening statement from Coach Gideon. When you're ready, Coach, lead us off.
Well, Merry Christmas Eve, everyone, first of all. Taking time away from your families like we all are to come do this. What an honor to be here at a great bowl. The FCS has put on a wonderful event for our guys. I won't compare our experience to any other experience, but I'll say the reviews have come back pretty good from Rodney here and the rest of the players. Our guys are really pumped about this opportunity. I think that comes from the quality of opponent that we're playing against. We believe that we're playing against a playoff team from a championship caliber program. We have a ton of respect for Coach Sataki and the rest of his staff and obviously his players and what they've built there over time through consistency. And I think it's pretty apparent that we believe in a lot of the same things that their program believes in with toughness and effort and physicality. And just hearing him speak along with Coach Key last night at a staff gathering, that was very apparent that those guys share a lot of those same traits and believe in a lot of the same program building philosophies. So we're excited. It's going to be a great challenge. Our guys have practiced their tails off for the past few weeks, and we're ready to go finish off this story the right way.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start on the left with Chad in the front row, and then we'll go on from there.
Hey, Blake, Chad from the AJC. I know you got one game to go, but big picture, how do you feel like your defense is done in year one, and then what's the next step in year two for your defense?
Yeah, I think you don't look at how a season's going to go in the beginning and wish you stump your toe. But I think after you do stub your toe, you're kind of grateful for those moments and what you learn about one another, what I learned about myself, and obviously as a staff, and then what we learned about the players. I don't think enough credit is given to the immediate change that these guys made. And, I can come up with whatever call. We can scheme whatever scheme we want to scheme as a staff, but the players are the ones that make it come to life, right? And for those guys to put their foot down really at halftime of the Pitt game and decide how things are going to go moving forward is about as impressive as the thing I've ever been around in any locker room. So it's been a wild ride. It's been fun. I'm so blessed. I'm honored to coach these guys that have gotten over themselves and allow themselves to be coached and want to be coached, and they fight and they keep swinging for each other. So it's been a great year, great experience for me this year, and we're looking forward to building on this in the future.
All right, we'll go second row left.
Matt Marshall from the Orlando Sentinel. Blake, I want to ask, you guys on a daily basis go up against a tough mobile quarterback in Haynes. What have you know? Is there any similarity between how he plays and what you've seen from BYU's quarterback?
Yeah, toughness, number one. I think both of those guys carry that mentality for their team, right? And whenever your quarterback is one of the toughest, if not the toughest guys on your team, I think everybody else kind of comes along, coaches included, right? If this guy's willing to do this and stick his nose in there and go get those extra few yards, then we can all do a little bit more too, right? So I think absolutely this guy carries that mentality that Coach Sataki wants out of their program, and that's pretty important whenever it's the guy that's guaranteed to touch the ball every snap. So our preparation and obviously dealing with Haynes and our offense every day, there is some carryovers, but these guys are professional coaches too on the other side, and so they'll have their change-ups, and they do a great job of finding the weakness, the soft spot in the defense, and we're going to have to be prepared to adjust. I think that's the main thing in bowl games.
A question for you, Rodney. I know you didn't have a chance to play in last year's Birmingham Bowl due to injury. What do you? I'm sure you're hopefully excited about taking the field. What do you take away from bowl opportunities when you go to play in these games?
Honestly, is cherish the moments with your teammates. Obviously, for me, this is my last bowl game, so I'm a senior, and I just want to cherish all these moments with my teammates, and just come around these guys.
Go back to Chad in front row left.
Hey, Rodney, just following up on that. I mean, for you seniors, just how far you all have come and this program has come and the chance to get a 10th win. How much have you guys sort of discussed that and talked about that going into this one?
Obviously, it's a big thing in the room right now that we want this 10th game as a win. I think it's a little history behind it or whatever. What is it? I think it'll be the 7th season or maybe in something in that nature. 10th season. I'm sorry. Couldn't remember. The 10th season. And it's just, it's amazing. I think it's going to be a good thing for us to get this win.
All right, we'll go third row left.
Who's counting though, right, Rodney? Sean Walker from KSL in Salt Lake City. I've been covering this dual threat quarterback at BYU all year, and I'm just wondering from you, Rodney, I'll try not to get too much into scouting reports and that kind of thing so that coach doesn't stare daggers into me. But what's the biggest challenge of facing a guy like Haynes or Bear or any of these dual threat quarterbacks who's not afraid to tuck it and run?
Yeah, like you said. So, obviously, BYU is a great offense. I feel like they can establish the run, the pass, and just adding the quarterback running game as well. I think that's something you just have to pay attention to. They'll try to open you up, throw the ball, maybe come back with a quarterback run. You never know.
Coach, curious your perspective as well on Bear and kind of what he's brought to BYU in his first season from what you've seen on tape.
Yeah, I think whenever you watch him on tape, you have to remind yourself that the kid's a true freshman, and he's mature beyond his years. I think you see growth that's probably was probably accelerated faster than most freshman quarterbacks. But again, I think his toughness and competitiveness and the willingness to go compete in those environments that they played in the Big 12 all year, it's apparent that he's not afraid, right? And that's, again, one of the things that you look for, not just at the quarterback position, but in any position, same with us on defense. Is this guy afraid of the moment? Is he going to do it right all week and then panic on Saturday night? So this offense, obviously, they run it well, they throw it well, but with the element of quarterback run, it forces you to play 11 on 11, right? And that's always a possibility. And Coach Roderick on offense does a great job of mixing that in. There's no real tell down and distance area of the field when it's coming. And so it just forces that to be a constant reminder in all of our guys' heads of it could happen here, it could happen here, and we can't take anything for granted just because the situation normally means this or this. They do a really nice job of changing things up, and obviously they've got the players to be able to handle all that mentally and execute it physically.
All right, we'll go back to the second row and then back to the first row on the left.
Rodney, what does this say about a team? You guys don't have a ton of players opting out of this game. Haynes is coming back to play in it as well. What does that say about the mentality of you of the team itself about winning to come back and finish what you guys started?
I don't know. I can't even explain. Just to see all these guys just, willing to put in, all in, even when there's no race. It's just like they just want to play ball, be together, create this bond for life. I think that's what it's about.
We'll go back to the front row left.
Blake, you mentioned the halftime at Pitt, and then the Georgia game obviously was very good game for you all. Was it just a mentality thing? Was there schematic changes, or can you go into that?
Yeah, we made some changes schematically. Probably not as earth-shattering as it may have seemed, but I think our guys just something we had always talked about throughout this whole process was not worrying about the result and just enjoying the process and immersing ourselves in the process and being the best in the world at my job on this play. The last play already happened. We can't really do anything about it. And the next play has enough worries of its own, right? So let's just own our job in this play. And I think everybody just kind of relaxed their shoulders and untucked their shirts a little bit and, just went and played ball. We like to overcomplicate it a lot as college coaches. We like to get in there and play mad scientist on the chalkboard and draw up all these fun schemes. But at the end of the day, it's getting off blocks and tackling, leveraging the ball, leveraging off routes and coverage. And again, I think it wasn't really, Rodney will tell you, it wasn't anything earth-shattering that we did going into the Georgia game. I mean, we just said, hey, guys, we're kind of run these calls, and we're going to get really good at them. And I believe in you guys. Y'all trust in me, so let's go own our role, own our job. And again, you see what we can be as a unit. And that's, a starting safety goes down in the Georgia game in the first 10 plays, and a true freshman that's never really played meaningful snaps goes out there, and all the things that could have happened, and our guys just stopped worrying about the result and just played, and I don't care how many points they've already scored, how many first downs they've already made. They just played the next play, and that's the game. That's the measure of a good team, a mature team, especially on defense, is their ability to move forward.
Rodney, we'll close with this. Obviously, Coach talking about the bond he's created with the locker room in his first season here. I assume that's been a reciprocal. What can you speak to the impact Coach Gideon's had in his first year at Georgia Tech?
Careful.
Great guy. I've learned a lot from Coach Gideon, on and off the field kind of things. He came in, asked for some blind trust, and kind of believed in him. I actually had it was a moment in the season where he kind of talked to me about my shoulder injury, because we have some similar injuries or whatever, and that's it kind of pulled me a little closer to him as well. Just learning his scheme, the way he taught it, the way he was passionate about it. It just gave me this this feeling like, yeah, he's a great guy, going to be a great coach, a good season.
Well, we look forward to seeing you both out there on Saturday. We'll
Yes, sir.
thank you both for being here, Coach and Rodney, and we'll let you go from there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.